from the south side. Saltman and NiteNite as Dolomin, the 2 Kübel, 1 cup, versus Nicko and Vodka Company as the Nicko Company, and it's gonna be Nicko from the north side versus Dolomin, being NiteNite, and Saltman versus Vodka Company on the other side. And indeed we have
a pick from Nicko. He's going for peanuts to mitigate the downside of the north spawn. Maybe to get in close with the peanuts next to the house. Let's see what his plan is for the game.
Team is awaiting orders.
Yes, he's going conscripts, or yeah, peanuts is conscripts for Vodka Company.
He's immediately rushing the house as well. Really solid start versus Wehrmacht. It's gonna deny the road area as well as the victory point.
The new grenadier squad is ready.
Saltman is also
meanwhile
taking it slow. He's going for the ammo first. Conservative opening.
I guess that's a good opening to go slow here, maybe as the Austria. It's a little bit dangerous to get caught in the open as well.
Yeah, and you can fall behind, far behind. The Russian takes advantage of the position, which doesn't seem like it right now. It's going more for the wire, slow repair, the sandbags on the cutoff, preparing already for the defenses.
In the meantime, NiteNite maybe getting the house on the other side would be pretty decent for him.
Would be huge actually. Yeah, he got it. Surprised to see that Nicko didn't immediately go for it. Maybe he expected the Storm Pioneer to rush up to the building and the engagement be in vain.
Nicko's gonna contest maybe the cutoff, or he's actually gonna flank Saltman. That's also a good play here.
Further. Also the engagement he's taking with the Grand next to the DG is really in his advantage, and he's pulling back. It's a bad start. Now they can roll.
Oh, they might roll.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Also, I guess you don't need the house so badly, since Soviets can have flamethrowers.
Which house?
The one of NiteNite. Who left it to defend the cutoff, but I mean, as Soviet, houses are not that big of an issue, since you have flamethrowers quite easily and cheap. So where's the M3?
Consolidation from NiteNite in the middle, he's gathering up all the votes.
Yes, he's still around the house, so there's the flamethrower M3, I guess.
You're already upgrading the gun, he is top.
Yes.
For the cutoff, there's already
Yeah, let's catch NiteNite by surprise. We actually gonna die. Good play here from NiteNite. I think he underestimated the damage from the Pioneer at close range. Also the Pioneer like a little bit behind the forest line here, so the tree line, so it's not getting anyhow damage from the other units.
And he's taking heal in space first, NiteNite that is. That means he can get onto the field fast again. It's a good decision to delay the tech up for the heal. You can see our combine.
I wanna get.
Thoton on the other side for the cutoff. And he's taking.
I wanna get the half trick.
Really positioned soundtrack. You see that?
Yes.
Allowing him the decap, but he's getting burned to a crisp by the flamer in the meantime.
Yeah, he's not positioning himself well. I think NiteNite could probably go for AA half track, would be a good decision here. But
against the
Still like some
defense
fuel.
doctrine? Do you really think so? I mean, the first thing Nicko will do, I assume, is get the small anti-tank gun.
Yeah, I think it's still very decent because it's kind of far and you can't retreat the baby AT gun. Plus, you have to cover a cutoff and the fuel, so it's very easy to get cut off here, so the AA can help a lot defending. It's kind of necessary, I would say.
It's really low.
Yes.
You're wild.
Well, NiteNite probably not gonna get his fuel back.
Heavy machine
I
gun
think what we
cruiser
should
ready for
be
action.
seeing here is a consolidation around middle from the axis. I mean, it's pretty good that Saltman is contesting the fuel on the other side, but it's
Yes.
great even
necessary.
now that they lost the fuel on the other side, and I think what they should be doing is
Officer
control
ready
mid
to
and
be
their fuel,
deployed.
at least
Overt
for the
tactics
next
now
couple of
available
minutes in
to
order to
frontline
stabilize.
troops. Night vision Sturmgewehr are now available.
Salvage with M3 in the middle.
Also true, yeah. But let's see how the 2-2 impact goes for the axis. Maybe they can turn the tide.
I'd say overall in general it's better for the Axis if there is no fuel at all for both teams, because yeah, light vehicles are a little bit cheaper and easier to obtain.
That's also true. As long as you don't get full by the allies, you can buy a lot of time.
Also it helps because you can play out better the late game Axis infantry. Let's talk about that. Yeah, should be a little bit ahead.
Yeah, and now the other side has been secured by Nicko as well. There's a huge influx of resources. That's why I recommend
Yes.
they should go for a combined.
Yeah, NiteNite is struggling with his fuel. That's why I would have suggested the AA. But he's going instead for the MG. Which also helps, but
And the assault officer.
yes. Which is also quite risky since it's the 120 and there's peanuts. You can easily flank and force back MG with peanuts.
Just like that. MG has 3 feet now. Mine on the VP on the north side.
Yes. That's
And it's
a nice traffic grenade.
There's the weakness of the axis, it seems like Nicko is falling into
Yeah.
as soon as the assault officer is around.
Saltman had a nice rifle grenade. It helped a lot here for holding his ground.
Lost a squad of infantry.
It's true. Because there's no red cover, so it's really not gonna die. Attempt of the satchel. Oh, he's blocking. This gets the MG42. Unfortunate blocking of the units, like... Well, resource-wise, Axis back. E-grants also gonna decap. Yeah.
Anti-tank rockets on the field.
What do you think about the panzer shots from assault?
It can work, but you have to make it work by executing it well.
It can work, but I don't think making defense into guards is... I mean, always...
I think there's room to make plays with it, and there's a lot of side blockers. You can get some real nice stun grenades. I won't say it's very wrong, but Saltman has to make some plays with it. He's also very close to that mine here. He doesn't have a sweeper, so still not get the engine damage after all.
Having a sweeper by minute 10, he definitely needs that.
NiteNite
Maybe,
has the
Saltman
Raketen,
even
that's
goes-
decent.
he needed that. Maybe Saltman even goes for G43 at some point. Maybe then the Panzer Grenadiers will come in clutch.
Now finds the mine, sweeps it with 2 models. It's the Saltman sweep. Yeah, I guess better the Pioneer than the actual.
I think if we didn't do it would have
Translated.
have snares. That's not do snares.
He is getting snares now. Oh, really? Box. It's interesting. It definitely brings some surprising territory. Oh, guard. Guard is gonna die. Yeah, it's scary.
And now he needs to pull out because his retreat is not
Oh, double to 70. Oh, Saltman going into the double to 70 with the 2-2. That's
brave.
kind of a mistake. Nicko coming around could get actually. Yeah, could get a good shock here in this retreat pattern. Not that optimal. But might still die here. Yeah, he's gonna lose both, I would say. Yeah, yes. Saltman. Yeah, it's a guard for 2 grand. So. I don't know why he's going in with the 2-2. That's very risky here. I could even push it, but might be scared of landmines. So. I think NiteNite has to be also a little bit more active here to help Saltman, at least with some Fox ideas. Oh, might get the shocks, but no upgrades, so probably not. Yeah, it's true.
Can do over towards the other side. Maybe Saltman let go.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Right side and direct more missions towards the middle. At least for the time being.
Yeah, I think he should have maybe sent over a Gren behind the T70 or a decap so they wouldn't go so deep, like getting scared there's a giga flank behind them with many snares and a rocket. And actually change the outcome. Interesting. We get the snare on the 2-2. I get it, yeah. They dive. He's around. Saltman rebuild the Grand, but...
Saltman is so isolated on the far right side. Maybe try to group up with NiteNite in the middle.
I'm just gonna lose the fuel again. NiteNite would be good to get some overs with SCG, I'd say. But he's lacking manpower. Yeah, that's true, man. That shock could die. Oh, he gets slugged. He was fortunate that the Schwer missed, actually.
That was in a reload cycle. I think if it had a full clip, the shock would have died.
Most certainly.
I think NiteNite so far is the only player that has not lost a unit so far, is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Good unit preservation from him so far, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he's playing careful. When Egren close annihilation, but yes, maybe not with the best engagements though. Definitely bleeding, that's something. Oh, a nice information grenade. Yeah. From NiteNite. Almost killed the shock, but now NiteNite lost his first unit, I guess.
He lost the wall from the duel, that was not worth it. I think it was right on the house, and died a few times in a row, and then the animation cancelled. Really unfortunate for him.
It is.
Alpha command tanks have reached the front. Deploy is needed.
Someone with another good rifle grenade as well. Yeah, so far both teams with some mistakes, I would say.
surprised? Saltman is still standing upright and holding on to the VP with all of the losses he took. And he's now back to the 3 grants. Obviously a lot of manpower wasted, but he's still standing, kind of.
Yeah, that's life, my guys.
There's a lot of fuel for the Soviets though. They have both tier 4 teched already and they have 100 fuel each. Let's see what they go for. I assume Vodka Company will get a 85 in a second, like in a minute.
I think they will probably actually get the KV2, it's not too bad.
Nicko might get a KV2, but...
Yes. I would say so. It's even very likely, I guess. I think that's a choice mainly for going with their doctrine is the KV2.
Everything just pointed out to me that I can be hardly heard in your stream, apparently.
Yeah, I boosted your voice, yeah.
I still think Axis needs to reroute their attention towards their own fuel. Salty needs to go to the middle. Like the shit is still not stable. They barely have any fuel.
Yeah, Saltman is very locked down on his side.
The only thing that is going for the Axis
fuel
right now
is
the VP advantage, and the VP advantage is going to be gradually reduced once the allied
nice infiltration grenades again. Oh, that's a dead shock here from Nicko. Good job.
Good.
I mean, you could technically play with the other side, with Saltman's side. It's maybe even better.
Another good
long
bundle nade. I
terms.
think he could have sticked the engagement for an additional second and killed the other shock as well. I think he didn't know it, that it would gonna turn out so well.
Yeah, it's definitely a hefty bleed for Nicko.
But I think he does
Quite
not
painful.
care, honestly. He has the whole map.
It's the T-34.
And he has enough fuel to make another T-34, which will be more than enough to completely steamroll NiteNite. I think at this point his only hope is the Command Panther, but he is so far away from it.
Yeah, I think he's aware of it. I think it's a P for pretty bad. Yeah, it's quite far off, indeed. Might wanna get another rocket.
I mean, you can
Also,
duel,
all T-70s.
you can duel multiple T-34s with the OKW P4, but you want backup. And you might as well want the Soviet to not have this, because that's gonna ruin your fun. Which is the case with Nicko, so maybe a P4 could work.
Yeah, it could work, but it's dangerous.
Do you see the amount of mines that have been planted on the left side, south of the house? There's like 3 mines in very close vicinity.
Yes. Indeed. Yeah, it's hard to tell, like... Saltman is already tier 3, so I think he's gonna get a Boomba, which is quite dangerous versus 85.
It's really dangerous.
But if he plays very defensive, it might work, though then NiteNite can't hold the fuel, because, yeah, Saltman somewhat has to be more active in the middle. If he cannot get the fuel himself.
Yeah, but I think we are starting to get into a position where it's too late for this reaction. With more and more tanks hitting the beard, with the front stabilizing for the Soviets. It's looking really grim.
70 almost died. Could have actually dived that this T-70 with the 2-2 to kill it. Maybe. But yeah, Russian team is really nice coordinating. It's T-2's gonna die now, I'm afraid.
Run, lift to the
missing the shot.
That's really important. Come on, Sol,
A
pull
lot
out.
of misses here. NiteNite, I think, not aggressive here enough. Should have just went in deeply with the P4. Now T-34 is gonna live. Oh, maybe one. He's gonna get one, maybe.
think it got slightly
Yes.
stuck on this anti-tanker.
Yes.
That's good. That's really good.
Oh yeah, that's a big win here for NiteNite, let's say.
But still, like NiteNite sent everything over to Saltman side now, and they still have nothing to do.
Yes.
Like they got the jump on them.
That's
They have a semi-decent army composition now. They just need to figure out their positioning, I feel like.
Yeah, NiteNite. Gotta get the fuel back into his hands, yeah. With the P4. At least Saltman is gonna contest now yet again, but 85 still lives, so not gonna take for long. Actually, Nicko getting a caddy. Yeah. That's actually good for keeping on the pressure here.
I mean, what is the OPW player going to do? If he wants to take off the Katyusha, he has to risk his only tank. Considering the amount of mines, it's really risky.
It feels like Axis actually decides to go for the right hand side. So
I'm not sure about
it's
the decision.
like
But
maybe
let's see
that's
how it works
strategy.
out.
First Ober's out, caddy moves in for the MG.
Yeah, since the Nicko side is not being... Go ahead.
Yeah, NiteNite doesn't like forward HQs, I think, Sonny.
Since Nicko's side is not being contested, he is free to use the Katyusha on Saltman. Which took out the machine
So
gun.
the next
in a
one
really
is
poor-
coming in. He should have retreated instantly, but Saltman, I think, was maybe hoping he wouldn't be
the
aiming
free gun might go
over
down.
there.
T-34,
Excellent,
85
very
wrapping around
dangerous.
the side, going in for the low anti-tank guns, it seems.
Actually, Brumba can work now because they went caddies, so they cannot down really a Brumba. But yeah,
VPs are still quite equal. We have a lot of wiggle room remaining for the Axis here.
yeah, there's definitely room
think
for
the
a
Volt
comeback.
You see the Volt
Oh,
down?
T-70 is gonna die. That's good.
That's good. This tank.
It's really good for the Axis. Yeah, I guess that P4 seems to be the correct decision after all for NiteNite. Has definitely created some space and killed some units in combination with other, like 2 vehicles. It's a very welcome outcome.
Unfortunately, NiteNite lost his potential to push. I think he lost 2 Volk in the last
He lost an
minutes,
Ober.
and the Ober also
And the
died,
Ober.
which is now being replaced. At least he has the armor now to upgrade it, right?
Yes. So now
I
Saltman
wish
got the
NiteNite
bomber.
would send a squad over to contest the fuel. Like, this whole site has been
Yeah.
empty for several minutes now, and all of Nicko's units are constantly either in the middle or on the side of the vodka company.
Yeah, he should have done this, and especially since Nicko didn't have a medium, he could have easily taken back the left-hand side here.
I think so too. Like, Nicko has no anti-tank besides the T-34, which cannot be considered a counter to the P4.
Somewhat a strategic misplay here. The next caddy coming in for the MG.
He's capping with the overs instead of the sweeper on the other side.
And the engineer's gonna die, dropping the flamethrower to Saltman.
Really good.
So off the ground. Thanks for the follow. And Jutsu.
Nice double pack positioning. Also that bit free to keeping it alive and providing more attack on the sides. I think that's a key unit for Saltman here.
And sadly, Thoton can't throw Kübel this game. I guess, with supporting Sound Redeem.
Saltman did a really solid recovery considering he's being fired at by 2 Katyushas and he lost like all of his army in the mid-game.
He's holding his ground. So double Raketen for NiteNite. and one over this. With the LMG though, I would have rather went fully. I think the SCGs would have been a lot better versus shocks.
Why?
Stand at
Was it the
300
shocks?
points.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they're better with the shocks because shocks have pretty high armor. And once the map becomes insanely bombed like it already is by many caddies, LMG obers basically don't deal damage versus shocks. And then SCG obers are pretty decent, especially if you close in on them.
We are losing
Close in with STG overs, that's heresy.
No, the shocks on the obers.
I have to close in on you.
You never close in on a shock with over. Unless it's very low and you want to ride with, so you're coming close.
Look at this, Nicko has had it. He's queuing up 2 systems at once.
Yes.
He's gonna take care of that before.
Oh, SU-85. Oh, missed the last shot. That's fortunate.
That's unfortunate, that's really unfortunate for Saltman. There would have been such a huge jump on the vodka company if the SU-85 died.
Scary barrage then. He was looking for those packs with the MG.
Panzer Grenadier is going in really deep. Yeah. They reconsidered their decision.
Good lines. X is very behind
Finally,
with the
the
resources.
look at this, the sweeper of NiteNite is finally
It's
recontesting the other side. How long has it been now? 10 minutes at least.
It's been a while, but there's one shock already prepared. It's quite
waiting.
funny. Once he moves over for the fuel, suddenly a shock appears. Oh, radio silence. Okay.
That makes it look to him like the site has been defended all along. Do you see how many mines Nicko has planted there? It's insane. I've seen 5, and this is just on my monitor. There is a 6, 7, 8, counting 10 mines. He's making really good use of his ammunition, and he still has 250 to go.
Yeah. He's the man prepared for everything.
But it looks like that Saltman is slowly but surely creeping up on vodka company on the other side, despite all of the despite of all of the resistance.
It's true.
Looks like NiteNite bought him enough time. Oh, the own mine.
Oh, Nicko, yeah. Nicko's gonna lose. It's 70.
It's gonna hit a mine. It's gonna hit a mine.
Alright.
Yeah, it's dead.
Oh, he misses both shots to finish it off.
Oh,
That's so unfortunate.
it's
Would have
heartbreaking.
killed it so easily. Now he's gonna die, right? Yeah.
Would have
Oh,
been,
it's so
would have not
unlucky.
been worth it.
Yeah, it would have been not that worth it, but still you would have gotten something in return, right? At least it would have been somewhat a trade. And getting that free, like, the 70 is kinda nice because it gives you a lot of side, and it's hard to regain that side, the veterancy later into the game.
Yeah, but still, in this game situation, the P4 was the only hope for NiteNite really to stay in the game, and now he's basically at the mercy of people. He can be bullied into any position he wants without a tank.
Yeah.
And since the second Raketenwerfer also died, it's in the middle, it's actually for Nicko to take. Oh no, he force retreated.
Classic. Force retreat from the Axis. He's gonna get... No, he's still not getting 2-2, but not really falling back, so it gotta die.
He's driving back for a reason, yeah.
Oh, he gets the shot out with the shock. He could get the... No, Brumba's too late here, I'm afraid. And now Brumba's gonna die to the SU, who should have died, right? Oh no, it doesn't, okay.
Oh, it's a
So now the
road.
SU-85 and misses as well.
And the point
What a
blank miss
misery.
on the SU.
That's the elevation. He might still be able to get it, but probably not.
KB2 in the middle. Look, this is what I mean with bullying.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Oh man, hit the
NiteNite is
mine, but
getting-
yeah.
NiteNite is getting demolished.
NiteNite needs the command point.
It's like a minute away, half a minute-ish.
Saltman gets the SU-85.
Nice.
The problem is Schwer might die in the meantime, so we're not gonna even get it. We get to 70, but yeah. So, that's so close. Just like
It's heartbreaking.
10 more seconds and you would have gotten it. Nicko just pulls off the play in the perfect time. Yeah, there's no main gun, like, because of the mod, so...
Maybe the Axis would have made something happen with the command prompt or anything in the field, especially since the game 2 is really squishy. No.
I think Saltman can compete, but NiteNite cannot. And now even Nicko gets the MG, I guess. Yeah. You can't compete with 2 Raketens against the KV-2, so you need like 4 Raketens coming from 4 directions and penetrating every shot.
Well, the first shot penetrated already, the second one also. Another one.
Actually,
this is what I meant with this thing is squishy as hell. Look, it's almost dead.
yeah, that
Like
was
you
fortunate.
would think it's a KV-1 hull, right? It can take some damage, but it's most of the time you're just being, I don't know.
It's strange. Often the KT bounces off the KV-2 gun.
Yeah, for some reason.
And it has like higher pen, I think, than Raket.
Should happen.
Yeah, I guess Saltman gotta get himself a Panther. Saltman needs a Panther as well. This is a Pioneer.
He also figured out that he needs to go, otherwise this game is lost. The best
Man
is
lost
obviously
just... Splits up for once his packs and always falling apart.
I mean, it was completely pushed forward with no infantry support or backup whatsoever. That was a misplay.
Just greedy. Maybe Saltman's getting desperate already. It's not looking too good. Can afford losing that. At least Saltman is close to a Panther in about half a minute, let's see.
He used to have 2 but 3 packs, which is really good preservation on his top. Especially since there have been 2 Katyushas shelling him for almost the entirety of the game. And he still managed to pull off 2 by 3 AT guns.
Yes. It's also fortunate. This Caddy didn't aim, but fortunately did hit him the very best direction. So NiteNite, I guess, is gonna try to get Man Panther in a second attempt now.
She's only 4 minutes away.
It's gonna take a while.
About 3 minutes
At least Saltman is getting a Panther. That keeps him going. He needs that Panther.
Yeah, somehow the Axis is still in
if
it, and they have
target weak point could have helped as well, but yeah. And coming in from sides, finishing off the 85, it's nice.
nice pick off.
And he gets the...
Yeah, but Nicko is still that behemoth in his position alone. There is an MG34 and 2 Zis guns.
He's gonna die and trade. NiteNite, what is he doing next?
Even if they manage to...
He wants to get it so badly.
I think there is no way he can escape.
Oh, he's actually gonna get it now. The 85... Oh, he's not aiming for the T-34. Oh, that's too greedy. Should have just gotten the T-34. I think. And it's nothing. Let's see.
The question remains, how are you going to displace Nicko from it?
At least there's a Panther now. Maybe next Thoton should get, I guess, a worker. This is resistance.
Yes, 40 fuel minutes. Gonna be a while. The Roomba might die now. He's not going back for some reason.
Missed the shot.
Ooh, that was nice.
Possibly going to attack.
Hunter's going straight in.
Yes. I should have went rather straight in for the 85. The guard and the Zills.
I don't think you want to go anywhere near the middle of the Hunter right now. Not the far, I think, and speed position.
And another. Control some guys. So NiteNite, where's your command Panther? It's still gonna take 2 minutes, I guess.
The no fuel challenge of the Axis 6 really started late at start.
Oh. So at least there's a bad 5 rocket now. It's
doing the hard work.
Saltman finally has also his rocket. So he may complain about it.
Another Patricia Salvo on Saltman. Completely routed.
Caddies,
Turret
24 kills in
broken.
total. Saltman has repairs, it's nice. The NiteNite is yet again not contesting the fuel and there's no units over there.
Really hurting.
And still 2 rockets. KV2 with actually 8 kills, I would say is quite low for the KV8 being out with like no resistance for such a long time. Especially with KW. Oh, Saltman is about to lose his boom. It's bounced everything. And now it should die.
Oh no, the KV2 snipers. Rip.
Yes. And 85 died as well, the Saltman. Yeah, Saltman got to rebuild, but maybe worth a rather, I don't know. We don't have the time to rebuild.
It's over. It's over. Actually over.
Yeah, possible. But we have to believe in Saltman wonderful comebacks and like that.
We are suffering vehicle losses.
I was believing in the comeback.
Well, actually, NiteNite is not getting the command Panther, but the regular Panther. Even though he could have just clicked the ability.
And called it in.
No, it's the regular Panther. It's really
It's a
strange.
bit cheaper. Like 50 fuel,
It's
which is
cheaper,
1 minute of time in game.
but it's so much better to have the regular one. It would have been even faster because of the build time. Like the column is just faster.
Yeah, I think he did the choice based on his fuel. They get 30 fuel a minute, which means he would have waited at least 1.5 minutes more for the command Panther to hit. Which is time they don't have.
Yeah, but I saw it when the Panther came out, he had the fuel for the command Panther, so he could have clicked it instant. That's sad.
Okay. Doing a lot of damage in the backyard of the Soviets, but it's not gonna matter. The game is gonna be over in seconds. Since there is no
Even if he loses the Panther, it's a situational bad trade because they're so far behind.
That's also true. And there's not gonna be a Panther for
Airtrack was
NiteNite
destroyed.
in 10 minutes. With this fuel income.
Yeah, and it's over.
GG.
GG, yeah. Okay, let's have a look at the stats. Terrific
That's unfortunate.
kills for the P-Grins. It's actually not that bad. P-Grins actually worked, I would say, somewhat.
They did like 20 kills or something. They did a solid job.
Yes. And for the Soviets, yeah, Vodka Company with some decent kills. On the cons, not too bad, especially against Austria. Actually, we have a lot of kills on the shocks and penals. Yeah, those penals lived like almost from the very beginning, like one, I think, or both of them, I'm not sure. I think there were like 3 penals or 2 in the beginning.
They were
Maybe
3.
one was
Did you
rebuilt.
see where the penal died?
No, I didn't.
Ah, that's unfortunate. Me neither.
But yeah, overall, Nicko with great stats, like great KD versus NiteNite, 200 kills to 120 losses, so it's very
That's true.
decent. And Vodka Company also with a rather decent KD, 156 to 169 versus Austria's also a decent KD.
With a lot of caps as well.
Yes. Okay, now for the army value here. As imagined, somewhat the allies getting ahead, Axis falling behind, based on lacking the
But
resources here.
It's really even. If you look at the graphs, it's really even until the point of maybe 18 minutes or something.
Yes.
Which means there was plenty of room for the Axis to stabilize the game.
Yeah. The issue is even when it's even, if you don't have the resource point, it's automatically gonna become uneven. Like you can read that only from the moment when it becomes uneven as well. Because one side gets out by units and the other side cannot. But yeah, like they didn't have too many wives, that's true, but point set wise, map control were like very far behind in the first 20 minutes as well. Yeah, and then it's hard to come back. Especially Nicko in the end with like a massive map control. And yeah, NiteNite not contesting didn't help at all, I think.
I think we needed to see like a full-blown OKW assault on the left-hand side with Minesweeper and everything.
Yeah. It's, I don't know, I think it's also a little bit of a strategic miscommunication, as previously said. After all, they kinda, like, Saltman has to position himself more to the middle, or NiteNite has to commit very to the middle, but that didn't work well, so NiteNite has to commit to his side and Saltman has to support somewhat, I think.
You're in a
Even though if
really
it
tough
costs
position.
them the VP on the
Like
right
you're in a
hand
really
side,
tough
but
position on that Wehrmacht spawn Saltman played, because you're like divided between blocking the middle and contesting the VP on your side, which should be your VP because it's right outside of your base. That means half of your army is kind of stuck defending the VP and holding on to the house, while you're trying to hold the middle with the rest of your army. Which is like not the
Yes.
optimal setup you want to go with the Wehrmacht.
like this map is also tricky in that regard. Eventually you might want to just play with NiteNite's VP and the fuel and the middle like that. You
That's
have to
true.
lock down on 2 VPs. And they
make a
never
brick
really
wall.
decided for anything. Well,
Make a
they
brick
didn't
wall in
really
the middle.
contest anything. And didn't have anything.
That's
Alright.
true, yeah.
Alright, it's game 2. And obviously now we have Elst yet again with Nicko and Vodka Company from the south side as the Axis with double Austria. And Nicko will be again with these double Soviets, so it's a classic release. Go to duel, he will be yet again versus NiteNite. Meanwhile we have Saltman versus Vodka Company.
Pioneers have finished.
For the MG42 going already here.
We have more
And that's
conscripts
gonna be
at our disposal.
conscripts.
Fresh
Indeed.
conscripts have arrived.
Saltman might rush the house.
NiteNite immediately locked in his doctrine.
Yes. To drive the front line, interesting.
Just as well as Vodka Company, going for Spearhead. NiteNite's pick is not
Yeah,
bad on this
it's
map.
fair choice.
Camus guns, we have seen shocks already, and the incendiary artillery is really good to block the DPs in the late game, for example. the middle.
Saltman is gonna wire the pine on the other side of the house. Interesting. So he gave up the horse for the wire.
Not sure about that.
Had a lot of HP. Yeah.
I would have clinged on to the house, to be honest. Now he's losing the engagement
Yeah.
as well. Ouch.
It's not a good decision here. It's one unit less to flank now the MG, if so.
Vodka Company also wires off the building, so no one gets to have it.
Yeah, until someone...
Oh, the MG just glitches through the wall. Did you see that?
It's weird. It's a bug, I guess.
Really good.
Or the wire is misplaced, I don't know. Or it
I don't
could
think
be...
so.
No, I don't know. I don't know. Probably a bug, yeah. But now he can't get out, or can he? I don't know.
Maybe he goes out the same way he went in.
Could be also if like both doors are glitch wide, you... I don't know. Yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Means no door is wired at all, young Ultra says.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that being a thing, sort of. It's just
Yeah,
funny
yeah.
to see the glitching through the wall. We have Sitzkrieg in the early game. Both sides are sitting in cover, building up, gathering their men.
We have a fresh grenadier
Yeah.
See
squad.
what the
The offset
allies
makes
decide to do.
sense. Slow start, yeah. Yeah, slight advantage here for the Axis with the resources already. They have all
almost a
these
mirror
side
of
resource
the-
points.
It's almost a mirror of the last game where the other team controlled more of the strat points early on.
Yeah. Maybe Saltman and NiteNite are not aware that they're actually behind in terms of resources.
I would argue this is also not too bad for the Soviets. I mean, since you have such a strong start with the Wehrmacht, with the MG42 and the Grens, you are easy to push the Soviet fuel, and now, since it's more or
Enemy
less
forces are securing our territory.
in a controlled state, the fuel, that's actually quite good for the Soviets. Because if you look at the fuel, they almost
That's
have enough for their tech. Nicko, NiteNite has already tech tier 2,
It's
and he has
12
almost
fuel
enough
difference for...
Opponents are seizing a
And he has
sector.
It's like...
almost enough fuel for the tier
We have been granted
Yes, but
access
if-
to superior arms.
Overall,
and
if you're
soldiers.
like 12 fuel points behind, like they were, that's basically if you have 2 main fuel points
We
as
are
well as the
losing a
enemy.
sector.
Yeah. So that's like the enemy has your fuel basically on the main resource point. Somewhat.
Did you check the build on NiteNite? Did he lose a con or did he just make 2?
I think he
Because he
only
has a
made
maxim
2
out, that makes
because he has the maxim.
That makes me think he just rushed a maxim. I'm not too
Yes.
sure about that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Especially
Maybe
since
it's
he's giving
for
up his side.
stabilizing the cutoff. Maybe
Yeah, right,
they learned
but-
out of the last match that they have to play more together through the middle. And so NiteNite built the maxim.
But you don't want to give
Just-
up your side without a fight. You never want to do that.
Yeah, that's true. The result of this is that NiteNite lost the ammunition. But in return, they have a good fuel income. So it's somewhat a trade-off. Yeah.
And they also deflected the Axis push on the cutoff. So let's see how this is going to develop. Maybe the Axis should have delayed their assault, maybe with a minute, especially since Nicko has such an early 2-2. I think it just hit the field at around 5 minutes, which is like a really good timing.
Might make himself around the MG, but there's yet again just another MG waiting. That's sad. Saltman really hates the horse.
Cutoff for the allies. Vodka Company is pushing the allied fuel on the right side.
Yes.
Help us avoid unpleasant surprises.
I guess the engineer being not used in any combat definitely also to Saltman not having the map control.
NiteNite is taking up and is getting a quad without the ammunition to upgrade. I think he spent his ammo on the upgrades for the engineers, for the flamethrower and the minesweeper. So let's see how this is playing out.
Fortunate Gran here, not losing too many models. Nice landmine from Saltman at the
Delaying the 2-2. Nice.
Yeah.
Saltman is also taking up. Let's see if he waits for the T70 or if he's also... He has the ammo for the quad upgrade, so it would make sense for him to actually get the quad.
Or maybe it's snow-like vehicle. Who knows?
Yeah, and just take the bleed.
Just take the bleed, indeed. Yeah, he's also getting AA, interesting. So quite the opposite compared to the last game. 2 AA, 2 T70s before, so very different selection of units.
I hope NiteNite picks up the courage and pushes his side a little bit more. So Nicko at least has to divert his resources towards his side and is not free to push for the allied cutoff once in a while.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Let me know the score actually in a once. I always forget the score. Here we go.
Fourth run in the making for Nicko. At least twice as much mainline as NiteNite now.
Yes.
Look at the tactical combat group in the middle. It's completely brutalizing NiteNite.
Yeah.
He needs to find a way to deal
LMG
with it.
bullets. Yes, the Maxim, that's his way of dealing with things.
Yeah, he's the Maxim is in a good position now to cover the middle. If only the quad upgrade was here already, but it's almost done. Maybe he can make a play.
No,
I'm not sure why he's
that it's too
wiggling so much.
damaged. Oh, where's the counter shocks? Yeah.
They terrorized the pioneers into retreating.
Shocks behind wall, I guess.
This is no
Maybe
engagement.
falls
You want
back.
to stick with the shocks. You kinda wanna retreat.
Yes.
It's 2 models dropped for nothing and now the T2
NiteNite
is going
just
too hard.
wants the decap of the VP to stop the VP drain, I guess.
And there's four grants in the same square tile.
Yeah. It's pain to deal with. Saltman playing very aggressive with the Soviets. Like, he wants badly the DP from Vodka, and now he loses the fuel because he's pushing too hard and then he has to fall back.
This quad also almost died.
Too snared. And then can't follow up.
NiteNite forming up again on the right-hand side. I wish he wouldn't split up his cons and send them to middle while having his fires on the other side alone. He might even lose
He's
the con
struggling
in the
with the micro, I think. That's gonna live, I'd say. There's no red cover, so it's gonna live. Maybe would have died on regular else.
Yeah, that's true. Not sure if the engine damage was fixed on the 2-2, if it could have chased or not.
No, it wouldn't have.
They have so much fuel on the axis.
Saltman has a yeah.
He's halfway done
Saltman
taking
in
up and he has
negotiation.
70 fuel. It's almost there to a P4.
Yes. It's actually a good choice when you're ahead with the fuel to get an early P4.
What is the Soviet gonna do
Especially.
about it in this position?
Yeah.
I mean, it
I
feels
just
like
want to dive the AA.
It feels like the Soviets have just gotten their quads and there is already a P4 on the front. Feels so hopeless. Hopefully the attack is spotted in time by NiteNite. It seems like it's going back. Attack round missed.
Saltman also with the Maxim. But yeah,
Shocks
the
with
allies...
0 kills.
Yeah, since Nicko's just sticking around with all grants in one spot, like, it's hard to find an engagement with the shots.
Yeah, he's done a really solid job of zoning out the shots if you're in some max range. Nice mine. Unfortunately no double kill on the mine.
Yeah, Saltman went so deep on Vodka Company that now he can't get the fuel back because it's Austria and Austria just defends. Once it gets to ground, it's hard to...
The MG42 is also in a really solid position for Vodka. It's hard to flank.
It is this barrage for that.
And an MG bunker covering the flank. It's basically for him impossible to go around. He has to frontally assault the MG and hope for the best. That's not a position.
Only hope is this barrage. And Saltman is doing it.
Now he's managed to fight a gap. He can go around.
The MG42 is actually in danger. If this barrage would have somehow been able to hit the MG, it would have died. Oh, pack misses.
Ooh, that was important. Saltman needs to go in all in now. He has to send everything in order to capitalize on the situation.
He's gonna die. Yeah, he can't.
Why is Saltman not moving up his squad? They could have killed Vodka Company's 2-2 here. That's a mistake.
Yeah.
They needed that so much, and now NiteNite's quad died for nothing.
Saltman's also died for nothing. Nice rotation from Nicko.
That's a huge setback.
Yep.
All that just to get the fuel back and get an MG bunker killed. And Saltman, it looks like he lost the con as well. On the right side. Yeah, he's rebuilding one. I think he needs guards at this point.
Yeah, he's no doctrine chosen yet, which I think is a huge mistake. Could have went just guard mode or defensive. Probably, maybe even defensive because we're behind with the fuel. But, by now, like, could have had 120 already quite a while ago, and that would have helped a lot with regaining the fuel. Like, with like both doctrines basically.
Our points have fallen to 300. Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
I think he's done the same in the last game. He ended the game without having shooting a doctrine. Saltman it is.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it could be. But as Austria, you can rather do that than the Soviets, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't think you have the choice. Really, when you're losing the game, you should try to gain every edge. That's also choosing a doctrine.
And yet again, there's the MG42.
This really
It's
strong
gonna be
position.
lost. Yes.
Also the 2-2 is still up for the spotting for the MG. And there is Nicko on the flank basically already.
Also a lot of ammunition for rifle grenades.
Neither of the Wehrmacht player has decided to make a cache with their excess resources. I mean, they don't need it, but it could add insult to injury.
So 2 Brumbas coming out for the axis. It's like they know they don't have anything against.
No P4. Yeah, that's true. You can just seal the deal now.
The only thing you could do now is access, get like 80 Overwatch, and even then it's almost a poor trade because you cannot afford losing a T-54.
Saltman used to have a lot of ammo to pull it off, but he spent it on the 7-man upgrade, which he also needs, so...
Yes. And now he's spending it on this barrage, which he does need.
Which he also needs.
Very dearly, indeed, since he doesn't have any dog.
Now the machine gun is in a position which is also not makeable. Again, so he would need another set barrage. The suffering just won't end.
At least we might get the fuel now eventually.
It's going to get a lot worse when the bomber hits the field, which is right now.
We are losing a sector.
Ouch.
And he's gonna die to the MG42. And doesn't realize.
Territory is out of contact.
Yeah. It's bad.
All set.
We fight bravely for the Reich.
And that's NiteNite brought it on the flank, basically. This gun was caught out of position, and it's now at the mercy of the bomber. So dead. And look at how Nicko has formed up.
Oh, he gets the 2-2.
Look at how Nicko has formed up, he's just waiting for the Maxim to die. And now he's swarming it already.
Yes. It's picking him
NiteNite
apart.
at the other side, Saltman's assault has been crushed. So vodka company is assaulting from the other direction. They're being pincered now. It's looking over.
Looking very well.
Looks like Operation Citadel worked this time.
Tanks are now available to you, Commander. Use them well.
Good, with the ground attack. Single target though. And
Both
we
Axis
have
players.
the first tank for the Allies, a T-34.
Yeah, and at this point both Axis players can remake the bomber. They can basically attack move it into the base, and even if they lose it, they just remake it right away.
Yes. Unless it gets abandoned, it's all good.
We have a new T-34 standing by.
Actually,
as I
this
said earlier.
bomber might die.
Just as I said earlier, the incendiary ammo has been used at a lot of points.
I think Nicko's gonna lose his bomber, possibly. It's behind
Oh.
of the T-34. Oh, he smoked.
Let's wait for the
Misses
pack.
though.
He's getting past. The
Oh,
T-34
he's
is just
really
gonna
not
bounce.
even gonna get it, right? Oh no, he gets it.
Wow.
NiteNite with the fortune.
You gotta penetrate.
Not even
That's
in
at least
close
good.
range, yeah.
From what I've
Saltman is
seen, it
coming
looked
in.
like. From what I see, it looked like it's with the rear armor box, the box of the rear armor unit.
Yeah. I'm not sure that sometimes you see animation, like, which is random. Hard to tell.
Allied comeback incoming.
Yes.
Look at the size of Vodka Company's army. He's down a Gren. Looks like he lost his 8 tank gun somewhere.
Yes. And Nicko's just
also
losing
die?
both his Pack 40s. Oh no, we got left.
One of the anti-tank guns has been retrieved by Saltman.
Oh, he could get Nicko's 2-2 with double snare, but yeah, that actually doesn't have the ammo.
80 points remaining. They can still do this. 2 points are being captured.
Oh, shot dies from NiteNite to the ground attack of Vodka Company.
They shouldn't be pushing it too far to Soviets now. They can try to stabilize around the middle and left side maybe, the victory points. Ditch the fuel for now. I mean, they have lost the fuel game anyways.
Nicko gonna get the Maxim now.
Oh no.
But 2-2's gonna die, I think. Saltman should be coming in.
To steal our sector.
It's actually a good loss to kill the 2-2 here. Oh, it's gonna live. It's gonna...
The 2 gets, I think, 10 more HP points on that
Enemy
field,
forces
which
are
means it survives the
securing
2
our
shots.
territory.
Dies to small
We
arms.
went
so
like hour the second too fast.
Sturmpanzer
And now
ready.
the conscript's failing to pen it.
the
Look at
machine
that.
gun of the T-34 could have done it. But he was too far away.
Yes.
I don't think he's going to pen it on long range. It's so unfortunate. And now he's going to
No,
die.
he's not gonna lose the conflict. He's still not gonna pen it. No, he's retreating, but he's gonna die anyway, so he just could have kept moving here on the 2-2.
There's no pin.
And also he lost the T-34 anyway, so it's super
It's 4
poor.
grams on the retreat. Heartbreaking. It's so over.
Not the most
1 second,
fortunate game for that.
For 1 second that we need to come back. But there's no Panzer deployed and another bomber from Nicko, so...
Yeah, there's no fuel from the allies. There's also no ammo for AT Overwatch. At least there's triple AT war from Saltman. And Nicko's just driving into it. He's gonna get his way around.
Drive by.
Get stuck. Off the side. It's just scared animation.
Frag bombs if you want to build, but there's no ammo.
Annihilation is
Small
waiting.
guns on the drum.
No, AT is dead.
Victory is in our grasp. The enemy has 25 points remaining.
And with a new MG bunker for the other VP. Saltman losing another con.
Enemy can taste defeat. They only
guess
have
it's
10
game.
points remaining.
Yes, can have already look at the unit stats. The amount of kills for vodka companies, infantry, I'd say. So for the Brumba. Because units were mostly in retreat, there's no information. But yeah, double MG, no, it's the maxim, yeah. 2-2 also with decent kills, to be honest. Not too bad,
Good.
and yeah.
Good job keeping it alive throughout the entire game.
They've died at the end, but yeah. True. And Nicko with quite a decent KD, so vodka company, it's rather poor for the Soviets, obviously. Bleeding themselves to death here. And yeah. Yet again, army value-wise. Worse than the match before. Allies already kind of behind after losing those AA half-tracks.
That was really painful.
And yeah. It was the turnaround as well when they couldn't keep up anymore with the Axis, and
I'm
even
not
though
sure if
then
they
the
don't-
Axis lost some units here.
I'm not sure if
for
they
a
not
brief
communicated
moment.
it properly, or what happened there during that push.
Yes. It's a good question, but yeah. Points out, obviously, the Axis with too much map control here yet again, with too many resources, making it really hard for the Allies to get back on their foot here in this match, I'm afraid. There's not really much more to say here. I think key moment was also Saltman trying to get the enemy VP so bad, playing like quite aggressive. And then just Vodka Company positions himself very well at his fuel with the MG42 and everything around and the AT. And then it's like so hard to punch through that wall. Like once you set up and you hit your foot upon like the enemy fuel, on this map it's like super tricky to get it back. not easy to do, and they lost even more resources. That was very painful for them, especially. Like, they gained double fuel and they didn't have any. And that was like going from that moment for like quite some minutes, or they like never really got the fuel back into their hands, I'm afraid.
What do you think about the decision to get an early Maxim?
Yeah.
2 cons and 1 Maxim.
Something you can debate, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I see the reason behind it. It's like, it's really tough here to hold for Saltman the cutoff and the fuel. So I think the intention was here to bring some stability and play just through the middle and having the fuel, then get some light vehicle and maybe later another con, and then find yourself into the map, maybe not bleeding too much with the Maxim versus the Grants, but just too many misplays here, too much greed somewhat. And it didn't work then, but
I think
maybe
he
it can
gave up.
work.
I think he gave up too easily on his side of the map again. I think that was their doom also.
Yeah. Well, they just lost 1 resource point for that and the VP. That's not too bad. For some more time, like you can play with the other VPs, or you don't need that VP. If you have your resources, it's actually more important, especially to have the fuel. And you can maybe get the other side resource points on the other side in return or something. Like, then it's fine if you're not too far behind early on versus Austria.
I think this works, but you need to find the transition into it. Like, you need to contest your side of the map in the early game, and then find your transition with your light vehicle, for example, when you have your crew weapons, around the 10 to 12 minute mark maybe. Then it's completely doable, because you then have more space to maneuver with your vehicle. You can play the pack, because you can keep the player guessing if you rotate it from the middle and your side, and so on. But if you do it before then, I think we've just seen what happens if you give up too early.
Yeah, I
Then you
think
just
I
have
think it's not a problem to give up that side. I think it's actually smart if you're behind, and if you know that the other players are stronger than you, then it might be just safer to play more defensive with the Maxim, like, and just focus on the key resource points so you can get out your quad or something. Because if you play like with open visor against Vodka Company and Nicko, then you might just easily find yourself base locked after 10 minutes already, and maybe like cut off the entire game, and then you just get stomped. Yeah. Now I think it was a bit better, because we managed to get the light vehicles actually out somewhat well. Like, if it wasn't too late, and then you can still maybe get with them a play, and I think the potential was there for a play. Like, NiteNite made the play around the bunker here with the MG. Like, they had somewhat the timing with the light vehicles, and if they coordinate that better, you can actually be rather decent into the game. But that failed, so I think it's actually the correct decision here as the weaker player to go for the Maxim and just focus on your base resources, maybe get 1 VP, and like the Saltman can just defend the fuel and is in a more comfy position here. Yes, maybe you lose the ammo, but it's not the end of the world as Soviets to lose ammo after like 5 minutes. You get your flamer, that's all you need. All the other ammo is usually rather for later game, about getting the 7-man cons or like 80 Overwatch and such abilities. So I think that's very fine. If you play with US, you want to have bars or LMGs, or you have a Brit who wants to play Brands, it's a huge issue if you don't have the ammo. But for Soviets, I think it's okay to play like this. For double Soviets,
to hold the fuel, hold the cutoff. They survived, and they got their light vehicles out. That's basically all the checks you want for the Soviets in the early game.
Yeah, and I think the Maxim does the job here to reach that point. if you play only with cons, then you play against Nicko and Vodka Company. They outplay you, they play smart, they get you cut off or your fuel. Then you break apart, you have no fuel at all. And your A is super late, you can't make any play, and it's just it's even a harder stomp, I would say. To be honest, I think then you get snowballed like so badly. Yeah, it's gonna be even worse than that potentially. So I think it's the safe decision here of them to go for. I would say, I agree on that. To be honest, also like Saltman getting later, also the Maxim, I would also agree on that. It can help you a lot, like
True.
holding the fuel. Yeah, you can just play with half the map. It's okay. And then maybe the enemy then gets greedy because they want to stomp you hard or they want to break you harder and make a misplay. And you're positioned well and they cannot break you. And then you can actually turn around the game. So I think it's the safer way to play as the weaker team. And they are the lower seeded team, so it's fine.